Hello and welcome everyone. Melanie McCool here, clinical hypnotherapist. And I'm going to talk to you about procrastination today. And I know quite a bit about how procrastination feels. It feels like a cycle that progressively gets so full of guilt and shame. And what I know about guilt and shame is that they completely take you out of the game. When your emotions are on the negative scale, you are far less likely to engage in the very things that will help you to feel as if you're improving yourself in your life, right? You kind of stay in this low level vibe and you do things that keep you in that low level vibe. But two things is, one is this is not your fault. Procrastination is actually a stress response. The types of things that you do when you're procrastinating ought to kind of let you know that your mind really is just trying to help you. Okay, so, I mean, if you think about it, you're probably doing things like, I don't know, binging shows or just doing anything but the work, right, that you've got in front of you. So let's talk a little bit about how this cycle starts. And how it can be exasperated in times like these. Okay, so essentially knowing that even the most on fire, dedicated people have been experiencing quite a bit of this procrastination, this foot on the brake stuff with the chaos that's been going on. So it's really not your fault, and it's not some kind of character defect. Right? This is not in any way your personality. And this is one that gets to me a lot, as I hear from my clients. They think that certain things about what they do that feels like self-sabotage, right? They think it's part of their personality, and that's completely false. They're literally just habits of action. And habits of action come from habits of feeling, which come from habits of thought. So if we go back to the beginning of all this, it's the thought, it's what's in your mind. And that's why you're here, okay? To be programmed for prosperity literally is all about reprogramming the thoughts that are in your head. Because whether or not you're conscious of them, or you do have what we call metacognition, right? Where you can actually see what you're thinking and go, that's not supportive. Right? Whether or not you can or you can't, those thoughts are directing how you feel, which is directing how you act. And over time, how you act is your habits, is your way of being. And it is reflected in your entire life, right? So if right now you're finding that you've got your foot on the brake, I'm going to tell you again that it is a stress response. And essentially your mind is taking you towards activities that are anything but stressful because your body essentially is overwhelmed. And it may be overwhelmed because of what we've just gone through in the world, or it could be totally related to the work that you have in front of you. So you're probably here because you're an entrepreneur of some type. And if that's true, please just drop a little, let me know what you do. So yes, this is the type of business that I have in my heart to grow. This is what I'm doing. So please drop me a comment. So yeah, this is what I do. And this is what I've had my foot on the brake about for this time. And it's okay. Know that you're not alone. That's why this group was opened. Because the things that I am going to help you with absolutely proven to keep you engaged in life and growing. Okay, so please just let me know who you are, what you do. And understand that procrastination is a stress response, and it could be from the external environment, right? Stress being from the relationships that you might find yourself in. This is a whole nother topic in itself, but if you've got a world of toxic relationships around you, that can cause a major amount of stress in your world. It could be pressure from work, that you feel that you just really have no choice, right, to be in that environment. If that's you, drop that Let me understand who you are. And it could definitely be, have been, and maybe still is for you, the uncertainty of what's next. What's life like? What do we get to do? What do we not get to do? I mean, if you're like me, then there's certain things that you're still just waiting to even know if those parts of your life can resume in the way that you expect them to. If uncertainty is your thing, drop it down there. That's all right. I get it. They actually say that uncertainty can cause the procrastination symptom of stress more than other things, because you don't even know what to do because you don't know what to do, right? And then, so stress can be external. Stress can also be from the types of food that you take in, from chemical stressors of the environment, that kind of thing as well. But then there is the stress from our own heads. And I have to tell you, being a human is a powerful thing, but it's if in some ways the animals have it easier. What I mean is, and I just want you to think about this. When you see, say you've got a duck or a goose, and it runs from a dog. So here's a dog at the pond, and the dog's running after the goose, having fun. And the goose is running, and it's just like squawk, squawk, and freaking out. And then the dog gets bored, or the master calls it, and it goes back. And then the stressful event is over, right? And so what's the duck do? The goose shakes, and I know you've seen this, right? They just shake their feathers, and then la 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 la, back to normal life. No problem. Not a worry in the world. It doesn't have a prefrontal cortex to think about the stressful event that just happened and to worry that it could happen again and again and again for the rest of their lives, and to be afraid of dogs. Do you get? Okay, so I'm going to say that slower. Because we have such intelligence, we tell ourselves stories about stress in our lives. We create internal stress because we're thinking about all the what ifs that haven't even happened yet, right? And worry can be useful if worry has its job. I mean, we're responsible adults, right? So when you think about things that you are thinking of how you can solve a problem, that's useful. If you have solution-oriented thinking and you're worrying over a problem, right? You're deliberating over it, you're trying to figure out what to do. That's a helpful thing. And as adults, we can do that. But what is unhelpful, what becomes debilitating and causes anxiety, is when that just goes haywire. And it's no longer about solutions. It is just all the what ifs that haven't even happened yet. Those are two different things. Okay. And then another thing that can cause stress is, chronic health conditions, or any health condition for that matter. Right. So that's a type of internal stress. And there's a physiological stress on the body from some conditions that it can cause causes stress response. And that's another reason why procrastination could be playing into your life. And if that's you, drop it in the comments. Because what you should understand is that even if you are experiencing chronic health conditions, the methods that I help you with here can help you reduce the stress in your body and in your mind so that you can continue to operate in your life and in your business. Okay. And I know this because this was my stress. I had a physiological condition that caused heart palpitations, anxiety. Yeah, it was chronic, right? And I use these methods that I teach you to bring the stress levels down in my body in the most powerful way that is available to man. We can't just shake like the duck. Unfortunately, can't just shake like a duck. Actually, you can. Anybody out there doing a Qigong? I do. That's me. We can shake like ducks. Maybe we'll do that sometime here too. It works. People don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we could do some shaking. Shaking is good, actually. Anybody shake it out? Or some is it Donna Eden, energy medicines people out there? All good stuff, definitely. So procrastination is a stress response, and it could be from external or internal. And essentially, if you find yourself doing things like just scrolling, or if you're binge watching shows, avoiding going to the computer at all to do your work, or here's where you can really feel this, is when you feel like you're putting the blame for your lack of success on something else outside of you. Okay, so when you find yourself playing the victim, right? That's not solution-oriented thinking. That's a stress response, right? Stress, and it's and it plays into procrastination in a really big way. So, and the other one is playing the comparison game. So many things we have going against us. What do? Well, we get our minds right, is what we do. We get the stress levels down, and we get our minds to serve us instead of sabotaging us. And that's exactly why you're here. So we're going to talk about how you can actually end procrastination once and for all. And there's a beautiful video that Vibeke has posted in the group that I'll put in the comments of this video here, that is all about how she was actually compelled to do the things that she had been procrastinating on after our work. It's a pretty good feeling to have, like this compulsion. I'm compelled to do this, motivated, feeling good about it, right? And so as we look at some of this, what the stress response does, right? And what procrastination then leaves us feeling like. And you may know this well. Feeling as if you're not as far along as you should be, right? And perhaps you have the guilt, right? Guilt for taking time away from your family when you know you're really just not focused and doing what you should be doing. And then still feeling like you still have to be there doing the work because you're still have to do the work, right? So you feel this kind of shame for not being as focused as you could be, frustrated, overwhelmed. At this point, you may be so stressed that you feel like, are you kidding me? How am I able to coach anybody else when I am in such a, I'm such a stress ball that I can't even get my own things done? And I've got a couple answers for that one. We'll talk about it. But that's the feeling of imposter syndrome, right? Like you can't even help somebody else. How could you, right? Or worse, you're feeling burned out. Burned out is the end of the line, right? If you've got insomnia, if you're actually experiencing anxiety in your body, that physiological response, heart palpitations, and all the rest that comes along with anxiety. If you've got autoimmune issues are a stress response. They're actually a first world problem. I can send you details on that. If you've got autoimmune issues, please drop a comment. I'm going to send you an article specifically on this. And I'll tell you that the chronic health condition I had, they told me was, hyperthyroidism. I burned out half my thyroid. That's not a stress response. And what I did that. I burned out my thyroid and I came back. And with this. So there you go. Things like not taking care of yourself, self-care problems, right? Weight gain, digestive issues can be challenges that come from this level of stress. Just plain out stress eating, right? Or not eating. And some people actually neglect themselves by not eating when under stress because that was what they experienced when they were young. Or the use of alcohol or drugs in a habitual way, right? A dependent way, using wine every night to bring your heart rate down, or to feel like you don't want to think of or feel about how the day went, that kind of stuff. And this is the further along the line. And then this is you. There's no reason to be ashamed. Just know that there's far more people going through this than maybe than you realize. And being in this group, this is a supportive place. And if you found that because you have been feeling stressed and overwhelmed because you had one foot on the brake, and that has caused all of this to bubble up in really, really bad ways, and you don't take time for yourself, I know I have to ask, do you sleep well? If you don't sleep well, this is a, I say, treat sleep like your life depends upon it, because it does. Because it does. It comes so far down the line on stress and the stress, things. But by the time you're an insomniac and you have no sex drive and you're drinking wine every night, you may not even realize that it started way back when you started to feel guilt and shame for not getting the work done. You may not even realize that. And you may be hearing this and going, oh, there's a solution, and the solution involves me chilling out and sitting in hypnosis and self-hypnosis. Yeah, that's what we're going to get to here in a moment. I promise you. There is a solution. And the solution is not what you've probably done in the past, which is to take another course, right? In the past, you thought, well, if I just get smarter, if I just figure it out, this is the golden ticket for me. I know that if I get this part of this thing done, and for coaches, it's probably something like either your branding or your sales strategies, or your program or technology, or whatever those things are. And you think that if I just do this course, this is the last one I need, and I know that once I've got this one done, everything's going to come together. Another training, that's it. Or another certification, that's it. How many times have you done that and you still have a foot on the brake? It's a good question, isn't it? How many times did you buy something thinking that was the magic bullet? The magic bullet exists inside of you. It's just overwhelmed right now. And it's been overwhelmed, and it could well be overwhelmed for reasons that we've just discussed in terms of stress, but it could also be overwhelmed and you could not be moving forward because of those money blocks that keep you small in the first place, right? It doesn't matter how much training you have. If part of you thinks that if you actually succeed in this business, people are going to, your tribe's going to hate you. You're going to get kicked out of the tribe and die, or that you'll lose your family, or any of those money blocks, those pesky money blocks that are hiding under the surface, right? Or maybe you, in the past, venting. This has been helpful. Not complaining to your friends and family who are probably not, don't have the wealth programming themselves, right? Or you could just quit. You could just quit. You could just end this misery. You could just tell yourself that you're not made out for this, that fire in your belly was a lie. Oh, yeah. That dream that you had, or that feeling that you have that you could really help other people, that was a lie. You're really just supposed to struggle for the rest of your life. BS. Complete BS. And the only way to quit is if you fail, or fail is if you quit, rather. Yeah, it's the truth. But there's still insanity in trying to push through this so hard as you have. And I really understand why you think you might want to quit. Are you kidding me? To just rest. That's what your body's doing to you. That's what procrastination is. Would you just rest? Would you stop stressing yourself out so much about this thing, whatever it is? So I get the feeling that you could just quit, that you could just forget your dreams, that you could just, I don't know what. I don't know what it would be. Or you could go, no, I will not deny my vision. I was given this vision because it's supposed to come to light. I have a purpose. My soul has a calling. I have things to do on this planet. Apparently, I'm driven to do it. And I say, go, but do it with ease, my friend. Don't continue to have this stressful 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas thing. It's because what's happened is that you've done all this work. Consciously, you want it, right? And subconsciously, you're still holding yourself back. There's some piece of you that's going up. This is in conflict, direct conflict with what is going to make her happy, him happy, right? And the mind is always, one of the rules of the mind is that it's always going to move you away from pain and towards pleasure. And so what you want to be aware of is that the mind, it listens to the words you use and the thoughts you think, okay? And it uses those to determine what you really want. So I don't care how many times you repeat in your affirmations that, one that I actually like is money flows to me from known and unknown places, right? You can say that all you want without in a rote fashion. But if, on the other hand, your actions, what you're thinking, what you're actually doing, what you're saying is, I can't afford that, and your actions are of contraction, your brain, your mind, it knows what you really think. Okay, it knows what you really think. As your brain's like a computer, and it gets the programming that's going on all the time. The same programming that's gone on for 20 years, the same programming that has resulted in what you see all around you. So even though you may be consciously trying to drive yourself forward, you may have examples of unhelpful input to this computer brain of yours, okay? Things like, I'm scared to death to do a Facebook Live. You ever use words like that? Or how about, this is such hard work, right? Or, oh, she's such a jerk. I really don't want to work with any more jerks. Oh, when your brain gets that one loud and clear, right? So the thoughts that you're thinking about any situation in your business that might have taken your foot off the brake, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna dive into this one a little bit more, and we'll be done here shortly. I'm gonna give you a process that's gonna take you out of this in a powerful way. But this is a really big one, because anytime there's been an experience in your business in the past that was less than pleasant, the more your mind, it believes that you don't want to repeat whatever that is, like having a jerky client, for example, or somebody that you enrolled that was hard to deal with. The more your mind thinks that that's the truth, the less it will drive you towards the actions that will have you going after more wonderful clients, right? So you'll find that you are repelling people because you don't want to experience the old. This is overcomeable. Everything is fixable, okay? But these are the types of unhelpful input that you may have experienced, right? And so what happens then is that because your mind does what it thinks what you really want, and it's moving you away from pain, it's moving you away from the situations that brought you pain in the past. And so, I had a client, really amazing client. And when I was doing her intake, she told me that she really, and her own words, I'm sure I have them very well written down, because I hear your language, okay? Because your language tells your mind what you like and what you don't like, and it'll lead you away from things, right? And so in her language was something like, I hate public speaking. And she gave all these feelings that she had in her body when she did it. And I was like, okay, so this is a woman that I've got to help to get the confidence in public speaking. That's quite an easy one for us to do here with hypnotherapy. And I was like, so she's got a problem with visibility and getting herself out there. Long story short is, amazingly, it wasn't that what she told me wasn't the truth at all. she'd actually been through in Toastmasters for years. She is a dynamic, fantastic, amazing speaker. She had had one experience of speaking to the wrong people and not getting the outcome that she wanted. And having one person tell her that they didn't agree with what she said. And here she was now telling herself that she didn't want to put herself out there. She didn't want to do any public speaking. Now we can sort that stuff out, no problem. But I tell you that, so maybe you can think about where in your life your mind may be looping in that place of, the past determines the future, when it absolutely does not, unless you let it, unless you believe it to be so, and therefore you take the action or inaction around that limited belief. Because the fact is, this woman's got beautiful magnetism and the ability to speak and get what she feels in her heart out to people in a really powerful way. And if she allows herself to be held back because of that one experience, then all of those women, those clients that she could serve will never be served. All those women who are going through divorce will never be served because she wasn't stepping up. But she will, because she was, good enough to herself, intelligent enough to do the things to get herself back on track, to do the thing because she has a fire in her belly, because she wants to serve people and she wants to help people. That's her job. And if you want to help people, let me know. Drop who you help, what you do, how you serve, and why the heck you're getting your foot off the brake now is so important to you. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Can you tell I'm passionate about this? I am. Because the world needs you. It needs you in all your glory and whatever your gift is, whoever you are, and all of your beauty. The world needs your light. Right? And so how do we end procrastination? I thought perfect day to do this. It's Sunday night, right? And it's not quite October. So your mind does all that, can play all those head games of, I'll start in October, whatever it is, whether it's your health regimen or your business plan or whatever, start in October. No, you know what? Every moment, every breath is the opportunity to start anew. And so as we do this mindset reset, I'm going to teach you a form of self-hypnosis that you can use. It takes less than 10 minutes a day, maybe 15 if you really love it and enjoy it and want to chill out in it. That's fine. It's good for you to relax, all right? Take the stress way down, tell your mind what you really want, and everything changes. That's the secret right here. And so since, I know people, Monday's coming. So why not wake up tomorrow morning with enthusiasm to take care of something that will make a difference in your business or in your health or in your family or in your friendships or in anything at all. For some of you, it may be in making your house a harmonious place to live in, right? Or it could be those taxes that need to get done. Or it could be, I'm just thinking of what I could do tomorrow. And I bet you now that I've made that, I've just plopped that down in my brain, I'll probably be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, compelled to go out to the garage and get some stuff out to the trash for Monday morning pickup. That's the way this works. When you get your subconscious behind you, essentially, it does all the heavy lifting and you can't help yourself but get the good stuff done. The stuff that will change your life for the better, that will help you to feel better about yourself. The fastest way to raise your own self-esteem is to do what you said you were going to do in the first place. And the quickest way to make yourself feel terrible is to procrastinate. Guilt and shame then take you down the spiral. down the spiral, it can get so ugly and so bad that eventually you're not sleeping. You've got autoimmune conditions or no sex drive. All right, so we get that. We get the upward spiral or the downward spiral, right? We're going on an up. That's why we're here. Up and up and up. Who'd like to be on the upward spiral? To be programmed for prosperity, truly, right? Versus sinking, like those who don't have these tools. And I would like to invite you to please bring people in who could use these tools. Who do you know who you'd love to be on an upward spiral with you? You know, because this isn't something we just do on our own, is it? It's far more fun if your friends are feeling good too. Is that the truth? So hit those invites, get the people in here, have them watch this right now. In fact, you could even send them here tonight, and then tomorrow, perhaps you've got people that you work with who could also use a shot in the ass. Have them watch this. Let them know they're not alone. As a stress response, we're going to take their stress down and get their activity up. All right, so now we're going to look at a form of self-hypnosis to end procrastination. And this is just one of the methods that I teach in Program for Prosperity. And it's one that you can take away from here without much more training than this, really. And none of it's hard anyway. Everything that we're doing in Program for Prosperity is actually a form of implicit learning, which means that essentially you learn while you just relax. Have I taught you anything that you need to walk away with today? Have I said, to end procrastination, set your alarm clock for XYZ time, do this many deep breaths, and run outside with your panties in the snow, and I don't know, I could get sillier and sillier. The point is, I haven't given you any instruction, have I? Except to chill out. Take a chill pill and you'll get more stuff done. Imagine that. Yeah, it's a bit different here, a bit different around here, and it works a charm. All right, so self-hypnosis, hypnosis, what the heck is it? You know, truthfully, hypnosis is a state of mind that you're in. You've been in life, trust me, lots of times. And trance is essentially the only space where we're even going here, is just into a trance, a light trance. What we're about to do is not necessarily, a deep form of self-hypnosis at all. But this is just enough of a relaxation in your body so that your mind can go to that place where it takes information that you give it more readily. So we're going to tell your mind what you really, really want in this state of relaxation. And so you don't have to wonder if you can be hypnotized to do this process. In fact, I'm not even going to do any counting or anything like that. So I'm not necessarily even going to give the disclaimer right now. I think we're all right. We're doing into a state of rest. Okay, rest, relaxation. And you may wonder then, well, if I'm not going deeply into trance, into some weird far off land, which some of my clients do experience, floating on clouds and stuff, it's good for them, eh? And some of them go, I don't even know if I've hypnotized. Oh, I just have to tell you about one client. She couldn't even keep her eyes closed. She had such anxiety that her eyes wouldn't stay closed during the session. They kept opening. When she was done, she said, my goodness, Melanie, you just helped me more than 17 years of therapy. I said, that's fantastic. Next time, could you try closing your eyes? So it does help to close your eyes, all right? However, if you want to just you could literally stare at something and go through the process I'm about to give you. That's fine too. And truthfully, you are moving the needle here. This is something you're doing for yourself. Yes, it's something I want for you. This is something that we're doing together. I'm just going to give you some instructions. You're going to chill out just enough to find yourself following these instructions without much of a fight, which is great, right? And you may find that you'll wake tomorrow morning with a sense of enthusiasm, excited. for tomorrow to do the things that you want to do. So I am going to pull up the slides here since I'm in I am in this. I can show you. Why not? That's not why we have this wonderful. All right. So we're going to go through this process together today. And so it's a simple process. And we can begin now. And this is the fun part. And you know what I'll say, even if you can, just after this, if you can just find a way to just do next to nothing afterwards, it'd be great. If it's late enough for you to go to sleep, by all means, you may find it really easy to do that after this. But regardless, there's nothing for you to do here but relax. Okay, to find yourself in that place where you can just let go. Letting go of all tensions, all worries, any thought of the day, any thought of tomorrow. Just allowing yourself to sink down into that part of you that knows you best. And you may want to simply close your eyes down, have your arms and legs uncrossed. If you'd like, you can put your hands up in your lap, or even have one on your heart and another on your stomach. This is my favorite way to go into hypnosis, is one hand on my heart and one on my stomach. But you find your way, the way that's right for you, the way that makes you feel the best. And so now, as you just allow yourself to relax, letting go of all tension, all worries, all thoughts, and you can just take a deep breath in. Let it go slowly. Thinking the word relax. And you can see the word relax written right in the front of your mind. Just allowing yourself to relax. And your body knows how to relax. You can even remember a time when you were sublimely relaxed. You could even imagine that you're sitting in a wonderful, comfortable space in your home or a place in nature. There you go. That's right. Just relaxing now, quiet. And as you're in this wonderful place, I want you to just allow your beautiful imagination machine, your image making machine, your mind, to begin to create pictures in your mind of your beautiful, prosperous life. Just pictures now. And don't worry too much about what it is you're seeing, as if you have to get it right. Just allow yourself to dream, to bring to mind the types of things that you'd really love to have in your day, in your week, in your month, in your year. What is it that you'd really want? What does prosperity look like to you? What kinds of things do you have in your life now? What don't you have? What do you have less of? And how are you walking through your days? Who are you being? You don't have to worry about getting this right, really, without any expectation, just allowing your mind to dream. This is like a muscle you build as you learn self-hypnosis. Allowing yourself to just dream, to dream bigger without any judgment of yourself. allowing those visions to flow in of your life, how you want it to be, what you have in your life, what don't you have. And you can make it really big. Take it now a step further, take it out another perhaps 5 or 10 years. Your life is that much better. Double it. What's that look like? A bigger vision, bigger goals, more audacious goals. That's right. You may have a smile across your face as you think of, as you feel what that might be like. And what does it feel like? Does it feel kind of like the dawn breaking? A sense of enthusiasm or the feeling of a nice, fresh, cool breeze in the morning, invigorating your body? Does it feel like happiness and joy, satisfaction, pride, achievement? What does it feel like? And you can take those images and you can attach those feelings to them and you can put them right in your beautiful heart. Feel what it feels like to live that beautiful, prosperous life. And as you allow those feelings to grow, you can allow them to double and triple in your body. You can allow them to pulse now through every single cell of your being. What do you feel? Do you feel healthy, happy, enthusiastic, a sense of achievement, vital, sexy, alive in every way? What are you feeling in your prosperous life? Allow that to pulse through your body. Let your body know what it is that you really, really want, what you require of yourself, what you deserve. Let it build, grow, double it without even thinking. Just go. Double those feelings, bigger, bolder, louder. That's right. And as you go through those feelings, you can just recognize along the way if there were any limiting thoughts that arose for you. Were there any internal judgments from yourself? Or perhaps you thought about other people or circumstances that would limit your having that beautiful, prosperous life. And as you recognize those things, those limiting self-beliefs, those internal objections, as you see them, you can just ask yourself, just for a moment, just for right now, can I let this go? And it doesn't really matter what the answer is, just the act of acknowledging it and asking if you can. It causes a shift, a change. The first step is awareness. So what is it that you are telling yourself? What are the stories? What are the limiters, internal or external? And maybe it's not even a specific thought. Perhaps it's just a feeling that you have in your stomach. Or maybe it's any of the things that people think are limited: time, money, resources, health, whatever it is. Just for a moment, ask yourself, can I let this go? And for every one of those thoughts that come up that you think have kept you from stepping forward, from doing the work, from taking the steps out of that beautiful, prosperous life, just for a moment asking yourself, can I let this go? And you can just continue to do that. Just asking, letting go of all thoughts, all worries, anything that would keep you from your goals. Like layers of the onion, just peeling them away. And finally, one more release, because we want to envision our beautiful, prosperous life, but we don't want to be too attached to a certain outcome. I always say it's all this or something better. And so for this last letting go, we're letting go of any attachment that it's got to be a certain way. And so as one last release, you can just ask yourself, can I let this go? Understanding that your vision as you have it right now, it may shift and change. Pieces of it may completely go up in smoke and other new wonderful things flow in. Do not limit the infinite. And so you say, can I let this go? And the answer is, oh yes, all of this or something better. So good. And now just taking that now for a moment, let's inject the most powerful emotion of all, gratitude. I want you to think of 3 things from the last 24 hours. 3 things that you can be grateful for. And it could be anything. It could be a good meal. It could be time with family, a smile from a friend, work that you received, anything at all. Just anything that you can be grateful for. And I want you to, just for a moment, just send gratitude to that now. And it may help for you to like open up a window in your heart and just imagine that you're just beaming love to this situation, just allowing it to project from you. Actually, you can think of a few people that you could send that loving gratitude to now. Just really letting that build and grow and go out from you. So good. And so now in this wonderful space, in this place of peace, in this place of relaxed, renewed, calm, a place of real power, we're going to just ask your mind one question, just one. What is my next step? And don't stress it. Just allow it to drop in. What is my next step? And just come up with one, maybe it's 2 or 3, but one thing that you commit to now, that you'll do right now, or perhaps in the morning, compelled, waking up in the morning, enthusiastic, excited to crack on, to get it done, whatever that thing is. What is my next step? And you can just open your eyes and write that down right now. What is my next step? And don't worry too much if you didn't come up with a next step. I'm sure there's plenty you could come up with, but just allow the one that feels good, the one that feels right, the one that feels like it's the most empowering, and make that be your next step. And don't be surprised if more comes to you as you sleep tonight. And I wonder, How many more good feelings about your future could come to you as you sleep tonight? And so now what I would encourage you to do is whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, stress, that stress response, when you've got your foot on the brake, right? When you got that procrastination going on, I'm going to encourage you to practice self-hypnosis for that 10 minutes easily. Do it. I mean, this is something that I don't skip a day. It's something that I do in any moment that I feel any sense of overwhelm, any moment that the world's trying to hand me more things than I think are appropriate for that moment. I'll stop. I'll breathe. I'll get into the mode of what I am doing and why I'm doing it. I'll fill my mind and my body with those good feelings around what it is that I'm creating for myself and for others every single day. And then celebrate your wins. And you can celebrate your wins right here with us in the group. I've got a thing. I posted it earlier today. Celebrate your wins of every kind with us here. Okay. And I do invite you to be part of Program for Prosperity. We're starting in the second week of October, or actually it's the first full week of October. And we'll be diving into these self-hypnosis techniques that can absolutely help you to transform not just your finances, but every part of your life. So understanding that the processes that we use to get our mind on board so that it is actually getting behind us, right? It is doing the heavy lifting so that you're literally jumping out of bed in the morning, enthusiastic to keep going in the, with the creations that you've got in your life versus that old feeling. We don't need to go back there right now, right? Because you're feeling good. Because truthfully, if you should probably be feeling pretty good right now, right? How you feeling? Let me know, please. Hey, drop that in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling right now. I typically get responses like, I feel better than I felt in months right now, because you chilled right out. It's a good place to be. And remember, the happier you are, the more money you make. So please plug in. Stay in a place of peace and joy. There's far more power for you at every level of your being when you give yourself this gift of internal strength that comes from learning self-hypnosis, which is exactly what I'll be giving you in Program for Prosperity. And if you have any more questions about that, I do invite you to go back to the Unlocking the Money in Your Mind. That's going to come down and out of the group this week. It's only going to be up for a few more days. So if you've got more questions about what types of things you'll be learning and the type of reprogramming that's happening in Program for Prosperity, then go back and watch Unlock the Money in Your Mind, or reach out to me. Ask me directly. Tell me how I can support you on your journey. Whether that journey is literally just from anxiety, insomnia, and all the pain that debilitating stress can take you into a place of living your life again, I'm here for you. Or if you're in the place of, oh my God, I'm burnt out from business, help me get my beautiful creative mind back on track, I'm here for you there too, and anywhere in between. So if you're wondering whether or not it's for you, the answer is it's going to be there to serve you where you are. And I'm happy to talk to you about exactly how you can personalize the experience so that you get what you need. All right, with that, and that's a picture of me in Cornwall, the last time I was able to leave the shores of the United States. Talk about uncertainty. Get me out of here. Just kidding. All right, with that, my friends, I'm going to say bye, everyone.